This presentation should last around 30 minutes, with a 30-minute question and answer session at the end. In this presentation, I'm going to give you details about KU Select 2016, as well as give you a glimpse of what KU is planning. I'm sure you're all very curious about the new collection, so let's just dive straight into the nitty-gritty about what it contains. For KU Select 2016, a total of 343 books were shortlisted by the Title Selection Committee, which is a group of 40 acquisitions and collections librarians in 12 countries. These books fall into 16 subject categories in the Humanities and Social Sciences, and we've divided them into 14 packages. For the first time, we are introducing opening access up to backlist titles alongside new titles. In order to participate, there is again a minimum amount which libraries will need to pledge. And in order to acknowledge libraries' purchases of additional formats of books that you pledge for, publishers have again agreed to a discount. The discount is 35% off the recommended retail price and can be claimed directly from the relevant publishers. Here's a snapshot of the Frontlist collection. The Frontlist collection consists of 147 new titles in the Humanities and Social Sciences. These titles are scheduled to be published between November 2016 and April 2017. The pledging price per Frontlist title is $55 or €50 or £40. All of the prices that we give in dollars are always US dollars. Onto the Backlist collection. There are 196 titles in the Humanities and Social Sciences. We set very strict criteria for these titles, as they had to be published between 2005 and 2015, and these books should be offered at a greatly reduced price of $13.75 per title per library. So, why is KU expanding to backlist titles? It's simple. One popular request from libraries was that KU increase the number of titles it offers to libraries. In order to avoid overburdening library budgets, we're offering this curated backlist collection that complements the Frontlist titles, and it can be used by researchers and students wherever they might be around the world. We've talked about how and why monographs are facing difficulties in previous webinars. It's a challenge which faces libraries and publishers, as well as academics. And you can see why OA is beneficial for academics in particular in this image, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. This is where KU comes in. Many libraries are struggling to afford books, as you all know. Authors are finding it harder to get published. Many readers are struggling to gain access to the books that they want, in spite of the possibilities of digital technology. And monograph publishing itself is marginally profitable at best, and in many cases needs to be subsidized. I mentioned the new Backlist collection earlier. If the world is to have access to the foundational building blocks of disciplines, then we have to open up backlist titles as well as new books. Some publishers are already making deep backlist titles open, and these books are no longer selling in any material manner. While there are now ways of funding open access publishing going forward, there is a middle body of content that remains closed. This is what KU now needs support for to make open. So, what is Knowledge Unlatched? KU is an award-winning initiative that helps libraries from around the world to share the costs of making books open access. By open access, we mean available to anyone in the world to read or to download for free on a Creative Commons license. KU was founded by Francis Pinter in London in 2012. In 2015, Lucy Montgomery moved to Perth in Australia to become the Director of the Centre for Culture and Technology at Curtin University. Lucy is also Director of KU Research. Earlier this year, KU expanded to Germany with a base in Berlin, thanks to new Managing Director Sven Fundt, who is former CEO of De Gruyter. In July this year, a new base for KU was announced in Ann Arbor at the University of Michigan Library. How do libraries from around the world share the costs of making books open access? Publishers are paid a fixed title fee that is split amongst participating libraries. The title fee for new books represents the basic cost of publishing a book. This is much less than the price of a book through conventional channels, as there are fewer intermediaries involved. Of course, backlist unlatching is much less because the publisher has already recovered much of their investment. Making it open access will eat into expected post-publication print sales. Payment of the title fee allows a publisher to feel confident that they will not make a loss on a book if it's made available on an open access license. Discounts are available to libraries who purchase additional formats of any of the books that you pledge for with KU. And this here is how the KU model works. We ask publishers to submit titles that fulfill our criteria. The Title Selection Committee, which is made up of acquisitions and collections librarians, votes on the titles. The shortlist is then presented to the wider library community, who then pledge on smaller subject packages within the collection. If enough pledges are secured in order to cover the cost of the title fees, then these books can be unlatched. Libraries are then invoiced for their selection, and publishers are paid. Libraries will receive MARC records and their own usage statistics reports. So far, we have run 2 successful collections, and we have unlatched over 100 new books. In the pilot, 28 books from 13 publishers were made open access. Within the first 2 years, there were at least 67,000 downloads in 180 countries via OAPN and the Internet Archive. This averages to 2,400 downloads per book, compared to sales of a couple of hundred, as would be expected for closed monographs. In addition to this, there have been 20,000 page views on HarTrust's platform. Of course, these statistics don't include access via publishers' own platforms or any other routes. In round 2, a further 78 books from 26 publishers were made available on an open access basis. We started to unlatch these books in March this year, and as they're forthcoming titles, the remaining books will be unlatched upon publication throughout the next couple of months. Statistics for this collection will be available at the end of 2016. Here's a screenshot of the pilot usage statistics report. You can view an interactive report on our website. And anyone, anywhere can access these unlatched titles by going to our website, which you can see the link for at the top here, collections.knowledgeunlatched.org. 380 libraries plus consortia have participated in the KU collections so far. These libraries come from 24 countries around the world, so you can see that KU has a global appeal. A list of all participating libraries can be found on our website. There are many reasons why libraries participate in KU's collections, ranging from ideological support to using KU as a viable means to fulfill OA mandates in their countries. KU books are also good value for money. The benefits that KU and its model offer attract libraries who seek a sustainable and flexible way to purchase ebooks and at the same time make those books open access. KU asked libraries what would encourage them to participate, and as a result, the model reflects this feedback. Recent suggestions involved more books, more flexibility, and more choice. So, KU expanded its offering. We built in a pick and choose option to select titles on an individual basis, and we now allow for early invoicing for libraries who wish to take advantage of their 2016 budget. Our partners include HartiTrust and OAPEN, which both host the open access versions of KU titles. All of our books are preserved by Clocks and Portico. This time, we now have increased support for handling sign-ups and invoicing. We are working together with LYRASIS and JISC collections, as in previous rounds, with Castellini Libri, Karga Libri, and Schweitzer joining us for KU Select 2016 in various territories. Let's focus in again on KU Select 2016. Here is the list of the 54 publishers who are participating in the new collection. They range from university presses to commercial as well as open access publishers and come from 5 continents: Africa, Asia, Australia, Europe, and North America. You can find this list in the FAQs and the title list spreadsheet or on our website. So for those of you familiar with Round 2, here's a brief summary of how KU has expanded and the differences with KU Select 2016. Publishers have agreed to offer a discount to libraries purchasing additional formats of KU titles so that you can avoid paying twice for the same content. Libraries can claim a 35% discount directly from publishers when placing their order for additional formats. KU encourages publishers to include a reference to the KU Open Access version to enable libraries to make informed decisions about additional format purchases. Knowledge Unlatched knows that it is important for librarians to have a say in the steering of KU and the content of its collections. We listened to feedback about expanding the subject areas, and we also assembled a title selection committee from nominations. 40 acquisitions and collections librarians from 12 countries then voted on a list of 681 titles that publishers had submitted for KU Select 2016. A list of these librarians can be found on our website. The feedback from the committee was positive, with some even struggling to decide on the great choice. Although I mentioned the numbers in the snapshot earlier, here are some more details. Frontlist titles cost $55 per library to unlatch, and backlist titles cost $13.75. In order to participate in KU Select 2016, Libraries need to pledge for either the complete KU Select 2016 collection, which consists of 343 titles, both frontlist and backlist. This costs $10,000, $780, with a minimum pledge of 90%, or $9,702. There is now also the option for libraries to just pledge for the frontlist collection only of 147 titles, which costs $8,085. Again, there's a minimum pledge here for 90%, or $7,277. These amounts already include the service charge, which covers KU's costs and allows for the model to be sustainable. Libraries should create an account for the library portal at the website, which you can see here, app.knowledgeunlatched.org. You will be able to view the collection, read about the books, and place your pledges. Here's a screenshot of the library portal. And this is a test collection, as tomorrow the new collection will be launched. You can see the list of packages here in this test collection, and how many titles you have pledged for in each package underneath the title of the package. And in the top right corner, the amount of pledges confirmed for that collection, which is currently 0 here. If you look to the bottom right corner, there's a green circle, which is the pop-up chat window. Please ask us any questions that you have using that window. Once you're looking at a package, you can click on any book to read the description. Here is part of a test book. Remember that you can download the full title and publisher list as an Excel spreadsheet from the Downloads section at www.knowledgeunlatched.org at any time. Either select all the titles in the package to pledge for everything in that package, or you can select individual titles on the right-hand side. You can also delete pledges and edit your choices until the end of the pledging period, even if you have confirmed your choice. For further details, please download our step-by-step guide to pledging, which is also available in the Downloads section of our website. The pledging period starts tomorrow and will end on the 31st of January 2017, and KU will then assess the pledges it has received to see if the collection or individual packages can be unlatched. Libraries will be informed of the outcome in February, and then KU can start to unlatch the titles. Libraries will receive their invoices, and publishers will be paid. So, what's next for KU? Libraries may propose publishers for inclusion into future collections. KU is planning to expand to Humanities and Social Sciences journals from 2018. And of course, KU will continue its research work in usage and other metrics. In 2015, KU established KU Research, which is working on finding better ways to track how open access books are being used, and to develop simple, easy-to-understand usage reports for libraries, authors, and publishers. Lucy Montgomery, together with PhD researcher Alkeem Ozaigan at Curtin University, are leading the research. They have found a way to provide libraries with counter-compliant individual usage statistics for their institutions, and we will start providing this to libraries at the end of 2016 for the pilot and round 2 collections. From 2017, we will be providing these reports to libraries for KU Select 2016. So we're drawing to a close, but before we move on to the Q&A session, don't forget to jot down the address of the library portal so that you can create your own account. Libraries who registered for the pilot and round 2 will still need to create a new account at this website, as it's a completely new database. Information about KU Select 2016 can be found on our main website, and you can download the title list as well as other documents from the download section. There's a summary at the top link. The title list includes a spreadsheet of all of the lists and all of the titles, as well as all of the publishers. The prospectus explains how KU and KU Select 2016 works. The library FAQ is very, very useful for you to read through. The KU Select 2016 at a glance is a very brief summary, a one-pager, so perhaps you want to start there. The pricing table for libraries gives the exact prices for various options on how to participate, and it also gives you the average for the books. And finally, there are 2 guides on how to use the portal. One is a poster advertising the benefits, and the other is a pledging guide with a step-by-step guide to how to pledge. We love using Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, so please do connect with us on social media. Thanks for listening to this presentation today. Now let's move on to the Q&A session. Francis Pinter, founder of KU, and Jill Grogg from LYRASIS will both be available for your questions. We also have Max Mostard from KU who will be able to answer with any technical questions. So I suggest that the other panelists unmute their microphones so that we can hear everybody. And if libraries would like to type their questions in, then I can answer them. So, who wants to start us off? We have a question here from Mary Meyer. Do libraries get their money back if the goals are not met to unlatch the collections? So if I may answer that one, and I'll just switch on my webcam. Hi, everybody. So yes, if enough libraries and if enough pledges are not secured in order to unlatch the books, then we won't unlatch them. There is a title fee which we need to cover for the publishers to get paid. So some packages may be unlatched and others may not be unlatched. We need a certain number to cover the costs. I hope that answers your question. Are there any other questions from librarians? We have a question here from Dee McCullough. What is the process per publisher for claiming the 35% discount? Okay, so in previous rounds, this discount or deduction was taken off the KU invoice, but this time the discount is to be claimed from each publisher directly. So when you make your order, you need to identify yourself as a KU library. We will also be sending a list of all of the KU libraries to the publishers so that they can cross-reference this. The next question is from Hannah Starova. Are the titles unlatched on the publishers' sites as well, or just on Hearty and Oapen? Yes, or rather yes and no. We do encourage publishers to make these open access titles openly available and to advertise the open access versions on their own platforms. And indeed, in past rounds, publishers have done this, but it's not obligatory, so some may and some may not. Francis and Jill, I don't know if you have anything to add to any of these points that we've been through. I'll just wait for some more questions to come in. Hi, Francis. I think you're muted. Here we go. There we go, Francis. That should work.
Hi, everybody. It's Frances here. Christina was in control and she kept me muted until now. So
I'm very sorry about
really
that.
glad unmuted me.
Unintentional, I promise.
Okay. So I just want to add a couple of words about the just to clarify, be absolutely sure. If we cover the costs, you won't get an invoice. You won't be paying anything. So there's no issue about getting money back. We know that's incredibly tedious. We will establish whether we have enough libraries coming in, and then we press the button and send out the invoices. So please don't worry about that. So in my panic over being muted, what was the last question, Christina?
The last question was, are the titles unlatched on the publisher's sites as well?
Right. So yes, as Christina said, we encourage the books to be absolutely everywhere. This is what is the challenge for actually monitoring usage and usage in your as well as the whole world, because these books are going everywhere, and then and one of the things that the team is working on in Australia is to introduce geolocational tracking. So if you're a university and you want to be able to say to your community, look, these books can be accessed, we're paying for these, and you don't even require coming through the university, we should be able to figure out how to track that usage in your location, so that we get those figures to you as well as those that can be tracked through your IP address.
Thank you, Francis. Are there any further questions from librarians? And Jill from LYRASIS, do you have anything to add?
Yes,
Hi.
hello. I just wanted to note that we are working at LYRASIS with Judy Luther at Informed Strategies, and we will be reaching out to North American libraries, particularly those institutions and consortia who have pledged previously, as well as other more information about pledging and specific information particular to North American libraries.
Thank you. And I probably should mention as well, when I mentioned the pop-up chat window on our website, if you do type a question in there and you're based in North America, LYRASIS and Informed Strategies will be answering your questions. So it's based on where you're located. They'd be happy to do so.
Absolutely.
Can I just add, we'll be running more webinars as we go through the pledging period. This happens to be the first one, and if you have any feedback on the structure, if there are things that you felt we should have covered more or less or differently, please feel free to drop us a line, because we're always keen to improve.
Definitely. Oh, we have a new question in here. Crystal Babbitt, will we be notified of the webinars? There is a list on our website. If you go to www.knowledgeunlatched.org and look at the KU Select 2016 tab on the menu, if you hover over that, there's a webinars option. Click on that and you'll see the whole list of all of the webinars. There's roughly 2 per month. So today and tomorrow, then October, November, December, January. And they're scheduled for the different time zones. So there's one in the afternoon and one in the morning. My time, so that the afternoon one will be your morning time. So there will be the opportunity for you to join again if you like. But feel free also to send me or LYRASIS an email if you have any questions as well. And of course, we'll send the link for this recording to you.
We also distribute information to various listservs in North America about upcoming webinars.
That's right, so there'll be plenty of information for everyone to read and digest. So if you want to take a look at the information, then get back to us with your questions. Please feel free to do so. Okay, I don't know if there's many more questions coming in. Thanks, Mary, for the kind words. Great, so I might just wrap up there, and I'll be in touch by email with the link to this recording. Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Jill. Thanks, Matt.